You remember this photo, July 2015. It was everywhere. It was on your phone, on the news, maybe you even saw it on a t-shirt. This photo is called the heart of Pluto. But even though this photo looks mesmerizing, something is seriously off with this planet. And the scariest part is that the planet is actually changing, or more like transforming. And by transforming, I don't mean the planet is going to get destroyed or disappear from existence. Definitely not. It's still geologically active. However, the entire planet's atmosphere is turning on and off. To understand why this is terrifying, you have to understand how lucky we got. Humans have been staring at the sky for thousands of years, but we only got one good look at Pluto, just one. The New Horizons probe didn't orbit Pluto, as it couldn't because it was moving too fast, over 30,000 miles per hour. We had about 24 hours to take as many pictures as possible before leaving into the void forever. Scientists expected to see a corpse. They expected a cratered, dead ball of ice, like our moon, but frozen. Instead, they saw blue skies, red snow, and mountains as tall as the Rockies floating on an ocean of nitrogen. But here's the thing that kept the scientists up at night. There were no craters at all. Look at the heart again. It's called Sputnik Planitia. It's extremely smooth, but in space, smooth is impossible. Space is a chaotic arena because everything in space gets hit. If a surface is smooth, it means it was paved over recently, like yesterday. And if it really was recently, this meant the planet Pluto was actually alive. It was actually moving and changing, resurfacing itself. But how? How is that even possible? It's so far from the sun that the temperature is minus 230 degrees Celsius. Energy and movement shouldn't exist here. It should be a frozen object, but it isn't. And in the last few years, especially with the data analyzed in late 2025, we finally realized why, and it's disturbing. The planet is mechanically broken. The heart that you see on the planet is actually a massive wound. A long time ago, something massive hit Pluto, maybe an asteroid or a comet. It punched a massive hole in the crust. And that hole filled up, but not with rock, but actually with nitrogen ice. You see, here's the problem with nitrogen ice. It's slightly denser than the surrounding water ice that makes up the rest of the crust. So you have this massive, heavy sinkhole on one side of the planet. Imagine gluing a lead weight to a spinning tennis ball. What happens? It wobbles. It tips over. That is exactly what happened to Pluto. This is called true polar wander. The heart was so heavy that it physically grabbed the entire planet and dragged it over. Pluto's axis shifted by about 60 degrees just to handle the weight of this glacier. And it's still moving. Heat from deep inside the core rises up, pushes the ice around, and erases any craters that hit it. It's a self-healing planetary shield. But where is the heat coming from? Pluto is tiny. It should have lost its core heat billions of years ago. This was the mystery until we found the syrup. We know water expands when it freezes. If Pluto were full of water, it would have frozen solid and cracked the planet open ages ago. But Pluto isn't cracked, but actually stretching. Which leads to a strange conclusion. There is an ocean down there, but it's not water. Recent models suggest it's a mixture of water, salts, and massive amounts of ammonia. Ammonia is basically antifreeze. It allows water to stay liquid at temperatures that would instantly freeze a human being, but it changes the texture. It's not an ocean you can swim in. It's viscous, thick, like syrup. Or maybe it could be cold honey. Pluto's crust may not sit on solid rock at all. Scientists think it could be a thick, icy shell floating on top of a hidden ocean deep below the surface. We see volcanoes on Pluto, but they don't spew lava. They're called cryovolcanoes. Instead of fire, they release extremely cold mixtures of water and ammonia from deep below the surface. When this material reaches the surface, it quickly freezes in the brutal cold temperature, slowly building mountains of ice. But recently, after analyzing more data, scientists found something even stranger than the volcanoes. Something that shouldn't exist on a world this small and cold. Everything I just told you, That's the stable part of the story. Here's where things start to take a disturbing turn. Here's why scientists are worried right now. Pluto has a weird orbit. It's an oval, not a circle. Sometimes it's close to the sun, sometimes it's far away. In 2015, when the New Horizons probe flew by, Pluto was relatively warm. The heat turned the ice on the surface into gas, creating a thin blue atmosphere. It was beautiful. But winter is coming. And on Pluto, winter lasts for 62 years. As Pluto moves away from the sun, which it is doing right now, it gets colder. Models predicted that right now, the atmosphere would hit a breaking point. It wouldn't just cool down. It would collapse. The gas that makes up the sky would turn back into solid ice and fall to the ground. Red snow. The sky would literally fall, and then a complete vacuum. The planet would hold its breath for 2 centuries until it got close to the sun again. We are watching the pressure drop. In 2018, we saw evidence that it was starting. In 2026, the debate is heating up. Some astronomers think the atmosphere is surprisingly stubborn, refusing to die. Others think we are just a few decades away from the frost out. If we had sent New Horizons just 10 years later, we wouldn't have seen the dunes nor the haze. We would have seen a dead, clear rock. But fortunately, we caught Pluto in its brief moment of life. So, let's say we want to go back. Before the atmosphere vanishes, let's land there. We have the maps. We know where the flat spots are. Should be easy, right? Well, you are totally wrong. New analysis of the terrain, specifically the bladed terrain, reveals a texture that is effectively a nightmare for engineers. From orbit, it looks like ridges, but up close, it's a forest of knives, giant shards of methane ice, some standing hundreds of feet tall. They form because the sun evaporates the ice unevenly, carving out deep, sharp spikes. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is the ground between the spikes. It's likely super puff. Because the atmosphere is so thin and the gravity is so low, the snow on Pluto doesn't pack down like it does on Earth. It stays fluffy. If you stepped out of a spaceship onto the surface of Pluto, you might not stand. You might sink, like stepping into a silo of grain. You'd sink through the surface, trapped in a hole of frozen nitrogen dust, with the temperature at -230 degrees Celsius. The New Horizons probe is billions of miles past Pluto now. Its batteries are dying and will never come back, and we probably won't go back either, not for a long, long time. A mission to Pluto takes 10 years to get there and costs billions of dollars. By the time we could possibly build another robot and get it there, the winter will have likely won. The atmosphere will be on the ground, the blue skies will be black, the planet will be asleep. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and with that said, thanks for watching, and subscribe for real, authentic space information and updates.